children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's up?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you a bit.
Hey, wake up, America. It's time to watch the bonus stuff of the impeachment trial. No, I'm just kidding. It's final, guys.
This will be much better than that.
I plead
Quid pro quo.
bribery, blah, blah, blah.
Maybe one of us will fart loudly in front of the camera.
That was amazing, including it's like a body lift, too. You have to let that out.
God damn it.
I guarantee, you know what? For once, our show is going to be more intelligent than something that's big on TV right now. I mean, this is way higher brow than the impeachment crap.
The highest brow.
That is
the highest. We have the best brow ever.
We're talking about Bad Ben 7, man. There's nothing more highbrow than us. Higher brow?
I'm going to tell you. Yeah. Low and brow?
Yeah.
Let it be low and brow. By the way, yeah, we are reviewing Bad Ben. Is it the Haunted Highway? Is that what it? I kept saying Highway to Hell. We know this is a Bad Ben night because, Jason's wearing his Bad Ben shirt.
This is a good purchase, by the way. I was very happy when he sent me this.
That is an intricate design on that shirt.
Yeah, it's that
Wait,
Garamond font.
Nigel Bach sent that to you?
Yeah.
So he's touched it. Now you've touched it. It's like Kevin Bacon here. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
6 degrees of Nigel Bach.
Damn.
Nigel Bach wore the shirt to Jason's house, took it off his stomach, rubbed it on his belly, and gave it to Jason.
Oh, I thought the discoloration was design. I didn't know that was sweat.
We thought it was a tie-dye.
That'd be pit and titty stains. I forgot to introduce you guys. By the way, this is Jason Brant and Jack Campisi.
Hi.
I'm your drop-you-off driver.
God damn it.
Or drop a you off, as he says the first time.
And you know what? This is a twofer. So this is a night at the drive-in. You're going to get some heavy petting in on here because we're also doing Harpoon. So is this a movie that's going to harpoon the horror genre? Or float? Will it float too? We don't know.
Float down here.
So as always, we begin the night with a drinking game. For once, I'm drinking. Are you guys drinking tonight or no?
Not tonight.
On a Tuesday?
Maybe, maybe not. You don't know what's in there.
Apparently playing beer pong earlier.
I have a bottle of whiskey my brother-in-law got 18 years ago in Scotland, and I just opened it up. It's about as smooth as a porcupine.
Irish whiskey, man.
Can this hurt you? I don't know.
I'm not going to hurt you.
I'm verklempt, so I figure this might cut through the cuzz that builds up when you don't feel good. So, what are the drinking rules, Jason?
Well, Jack's words are watched, short, and guy. Hunter's words are Uber, yacht, and budget. And my words are Nigel, camera, and love. And love. And the bonus words are bad, boat, and friend.
Well, bad is definitely going to be rough.
Listen, I appreciate the effort that goes into the drinking words, but watched is kind of really stretching there.
Little on the nose.
I'm thinking when we get to 150, I'm going to do the drinking words again. See how that goes.
All right.
I'll have to have somebody else.
Are we almost
run
there?
The back end here, because yeah, we're at 130. I think this one is. So.
Oh, we should put on an episode every day until we get to 150 real fast.
See me get hammered.
So, Jack, you take us to all the news and what's going on in news and lots of news about horror news, right?
It's news to me.
Wow, the highest of brows.
No news is good news.
With Gary Gnews. Okay, I'm going to do this quick. As usual, the news involves movies that are now becoming TV shows. Mm-hmm. First up, 2005's Sin City. The company Legendary is creating a TV series based on Sin City. I don't know if it's a sequel or just more stories from Sin City or whatever, but Frank Miller's involved. And what do you think?
I never even watched.
Did you see this? Yeah, the second one is not good. I don't know if this would hold up for a series. I mean, for the first movie, it was great.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Sin City kind of happened. It was a thing, and it's a nice little thing to revisit once in a while when it's on TV or something. But the sequel kind of proved I didn't need more Sin City.
No. Once you lose some of that star power too, it's like, oh, okay.
And I don't know if the audience that's too young to really care about the original Sin City, is this stylized thing going to be something that grabs them? I don't know.
Hey, everyone's looking for crime noir.
It's based on a comic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is there a ton of source material? I mean, I've never read it.
There's more. There is. There's enough, but I don't know. It's interesting. You know what? I'll give it a shot.
I'll give it a shot too. I'm enjoying The Watchmen on HBO. So.
Oh yeah, I have to get to that. So much shit.
It's not possible to keep up anymore.
I know.
No.
All right. Guess what other movie's going to get the series treatment?
Bad Ben.
You're not gonna believe this one. Yes, Bad Ben.
Oh, Wishmaster.
Oh God.
Saw.
Come on.
So there's in May of next year, the Saw reboot with Chris Rock and Sam Jackson is coming out. But now the Aaron Lynn Bousman is the director. I don't know. No.
Confused.
I'm trying to see what this. It's a rumor. It's a rumor at this point from We Got This Covered, which is a very questionable website as far as facts go. But they're saying that there's a Saw TV series in development. This is one that I really don't give two craps about.
I question the sanity of the person who would want to watch that week in and week out.
When did the original Saw come out? 2004, maybe 2005.
I think it was 2000.
Yeah, right around there.
Okay.
Because I think I saw it the night of the Red Sox World Series parade, and I was bombed, and I fell.
No way.
Well, if it's been 2004, then it's been 15 years since I've cared. I don't know. Yeah. I don't like torture porn, so it's not my thing anyway. And then making a show out of it, it's gonna be a hard sell for me.
Yeah. All right. The last piece of news: Gremlins is going back to the theaters for the holiday season. Let's see, December 5th through December 11th. So if you're a Gremlins fan, check the listings and go see Gremlins in the theater. Personally, I'd rather see, if I'm going to watch a Phoebe Cates movie in the movie theater, I want to see Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
I knew that was coming.
Why? Why that one?
Well, because there's this great soundtrack.
Spicoli. That's why.
That's great.
I'd rather see her in Drop Dead Fred.
Oh.
They did that on How Did This Get Made? It's awesome.
Oh, I listened to that. That was really funny. But it's funny because that's the one movie that they all liked. They're like, why is this even on this?
That's all I got. You care about Gremlins?
Look, I don't hold it near and dear like everybody. Not everybody, but a lot of people seem to. But I would go see it in the theater again. Why not? It'd be fun.
I did Gremlins, but I will not be seeing it in the theater.
For all the Christmas stuff that I have to watch Frosty the Snowman and all the Rankin Bass things. I'll be happy to go to the theaters and see Gremlins.
Well, I travel a lot for the holidays because I live away from my family, so it's hard enough for me to see all the shit we cover on this, let alone go see a 30-some-year-old movie in the theater. So it's gonna be tough.
When you travel, do you get like a jalopy like the Grapes of Wrath? Does it look like that when you travel to see your family?
Yes. How did you guess? That's amazing.
Going through the Dust Bowl of Pennsylvania.
It is interesting when you go through one of the tunnels that goes through the mountains. You come out the other side, there's goddamn snow everywhere, and on the other side of the mountain, there's nothing. It's like a different world.
Are you kidding me?
Every time we go up for Christmas, there's no snow, and then it's just tons of it.
That is weird,
like
man.
200-300 yards or however many hundred yards that tunnel is separates it. It's like a different world. It really is.
Is that Pennsylvania?
Driving to the Overlook Hotel.
Wah, 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 wah.
All right,
okay.
that's all the news.
That's all the news.
So-
Good, Jack. I'm going to keep stepping over your line.
Step away, baby.
All right, now we're going to do some stat picks, but we got to keep it short because we have a big double feature to get to, guys. Remember.
You got it.
Keep it short. Pick your stats, motherfuckers.
We have such sights to show you.
All right. So I was going to start with Jack for a change, but Jason, you just go. I want Jack to rest.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
while Jack is
Let's
resting,
back to Chef that news.
I will talk to him about a movie I watched that he already saw called Joker. I finally got around to seeing it.
Why so serious?
I loved this movie. Way more than I thought I would. The first half, I had some pretty, not massive problems with it, but there was some stuff I didn't like. It's kind of a simpleton. You know, how does this guy become the Joker? How does he have a girlfriend? You know, whatever. But a lot of things get explained as the movie goes on. A lot of stuff happens, which is surprising for a movie that doesn't have a whole hell of a lot of dialogue. And I loved it. I mean, is this the best thing DC has done? Probably by a mile. So even if you're not a comic fan, this is a really well-made movie. There's almost nothing comic booky in it at all. In fact, I don't think there is, really. It's just
It's almost cheating because there's no comic bookiness in it.
It's just like an intense thriller, like a psychological, not a psychological thriller, that's not fair, but basically watching someone break down mentally. It's like the makings of a supervillain, and it was really well done. I dug the hell out of it. So all the articles shitting on it and all that, those people are full of it. This is a really well-made movie. It's worth a view. And judging by the
Don't forget, a lot of people in Hollywood hate Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
Yeah. He's pulled some weird shenanigans, so the critics really despise him.
Well, I would say, judging by the $1 billion box office, I'm probably one of the last people in the country to see it, so they're doing something right.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's worth a view when it hits VOD, man. I think you'll really like it.
When it comes on VHS, I'm definitely picking it up. No, I do want to see this one. All right, Jack. What's in your grab bag?
Well, I watched a couple of things this week, but I did happen to go on Amazon Prime and watch Overlord. So this is the first time I've watched it since I saw it in the theater. Both of you guys have seen it since.
I've probably seen it 5
Own
times.
it. 3.
Couple of things. First of all, I like it just as much as I did then. It was what a great movie. If you haven't seen Overlord, go see it. Like, this is, I almost envy you that you have this still to look forward to.
Same.
Yeah.
So good. The movie moves faster than I remembered it. Like, all the segments that in my head were like, oh, I thought that whole scene was longer than it was. It's got a great pace to it. I didn't know that Wyatt Russell was Kurt Russell's son the first time I saw it.
Me
And
either.
now that I know, all I can hear is Kurt Russell every time that guy talks.
Yes. But like classic The Thing, like McCready Kurt Russell.
McCready or Snake, there's a little Snake Plissken in him.
Yeah.
100%.
So, man, I just you have the Blu-ray, don't you? I'd love to watch some of the extras on how they did some of the special effects in that. But listen, I'm so psyched it's on Prime now because I'll probably fire it up again, but before the end of the year. What a great flick! So I don't have much to say beyond it holds up. Watch Overlord if you haven't seen it.
That's one of the best forgotten horror movies of the last 10 years.
It's amazing.
I mean, it's crazy how that just got buried.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at my top 10 list from last year, but it might be the only one I've revisited so far, and I've done it multiple times. So
Did that come out the same year as Hereditary? Because Hereditary I've watched.
it did, but I haven't gone back to that yet. I need to be in the right headspace to watch that movie again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've done that 3 times, I think.
That's a great movie too. Oh my God.
Okay, so before I get into the movie I want to talk about, I did see Dr. Sleep last night. Very upset I wasn't part of the conversation last week. I freaking love this movie. What Flanagan did by taking a book that's a sequel to a novel and combining with a movie that's a sequel to a movie.
It's amazing.
Oh, Jesus. Absolutely amazing. Rose the Hat, what's her name? Rebecca Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most evil villain we've seen in a long, long time.
Great.
And I could tell you, I think a lot of people will turn away from that movie during that scene with the boy they kidnapped from the baseball field.
Yep.
what happens to him? I was like, holy Jesus. I mean, that was the roughest scene I think I might have ever seen.
I think that elevates the movie because it gives it an edge to it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of potential for this to be a very vanilla movie with, kind of not a lot of,
Violence.
stakes like that.
Yeah.
Violence.
It was 2.5 hours. I could have sat there for 3 hours.
Yep.
After that 2.5 hours, my wife and I, neither of us wanted that movie to stop. Once it got to the Overlook, we were psyched. I loved everything about that movie.
I couldn't believe the Overlook scene was as short as it was.
I know, but I was like, oh, they didn't do this in the book. This is awesome because there is no Overlook after the first book. So, and whoever they got to play Scatman Crothers, holy Jesus, that's him. That's him.
Yeah. To me, the casting was just close enough that it completely works, but not like they're mimicking the people. So it just was just perfect. I love that movie.
Great movie. It hasn't made enough money yet. Not that there's going to be a third. So if they don't make the money back, they don't make the money back. But
that movie should have been called something besides Dr. Sleep. Nobody knew that movie was out.
Nope.
I talked to people and I'm like, oh, saw Dr. Sleep. What's that? Sequel to The Shining. Really? Nobody knew that movie was out.
The Dr. Sleep sold like 20 million copies. So there's 20 million people who know this.
But they're all like closet bookworms or something. Like
I guess.
If they had called it something like Dr. Sleep subtitled The Shining or if they had gotten the word The Shining in there, like It Chapter 2 clearly lets you know what the hell's going on. If they managed to get call it The Shining 2, for lack of a better thing.
Yeah, that would have been hard. I would have hated that name though. I don't know.
You're right, but I just don't think anybody was aware. First of all, why did they release this thing before after Halloween?
That makes no. It's not like there were good releases in October anyway.
Well, November, December is when you try to release things that you think might get Oscar nods, for whatever reason it might be.
Or apparently, if you want to lose all your money.
Yeah.
Remember, Overlord,
I know. I mean,
didn't Overlord release in November last year, and nobody went and freaking saw it?
Yeah, but this is a mainstream movie.
I don't know. They both completely failed at the box office, which sucks.
This movie Flanagan's amazing.
Yep, he's a master.
What a great director. So because that movie's it's all about juxtapositions. It's a gorgeous woman who has an evil heart. It's people who live a normal life die peaceably. People who live this long life die horribly. Everything is this juxtaposition. So this is perfect movie to follow it up with. Mountaintop Motel Massacre.
Speaking of masterpieces.
Oh, I bought this movie from Vinegar Syndrome. Thank you very much, guys at Vinegar Syndrome, for cluttering up my bookshelves. This is a slasher movie from the early 80s, and it's called a motel. When I watched it, I said to my wife, I said, hey, this looks like where Jason was probably born. It's like these ramshackle shacks gathered together in the middle of the woods. Like, who on earth would ever stay at this place?
Shut up.
And this woman catches her daughter worshiping Satan and then murders her. And then the woman just kind of goes crazy. And people keep coming to this motel. It was like a nonstop parade. What the fuck? It's $7 a night. So it's nice and cheap. And then, she's crawling under there's like a warren of tunnels underneath all the cabins, just popping up doing stuff. Look, this would be great if I was watching with a group of people and we had a few drinks. It would be really fun.
Did you talk about this movie in a blog post that you wrote about slasher movies or something?
Yes, I have. So it's a must see for the slasher completists like I am. A must own? I don't know. Support Vinegar Syndrome. It's gritty. It looks like it was shot on film that was thrown in a fire and pissed on so they could put the fire out. But even then, I was fun. I had fun with it. It's dumb.
Is this so bad it's good material?
No, it's just bad.
Oh, okay. I get enough of that from Vinegar Syndrome.
Yeah. But you know what? Out of the Vinegar Syndrome movies, I would watch this one again. Like so many I put, I go, well, I'll just will that to the children. This one I'll watch again.
Bequeath it to someone.
You may have Demon Wind. Share it. Share it with Tim Meyer.
All right. I watched a movie recommended to me by Steve Barnard, who does some killer reviews for our website. He just did one for Rabbit, I think. So go check it out. Anyway, he told me to watch Fractured on Netflix. He said this is a Jason Brant movie. So I did. It's starring... What the hell's the guy's name? Sam Worthington.
All right.
And it's directed by Brad Anderson, who did Session 9. Is that what it was called? Session 9? Yeah, Session 9, The Machinist, Trans-Siberian. He's done some good work.
Yeah.
This was a fun movie. It's kind of this one is actually a psychological thriller where you're trying to figure out this guy. His daughter gets injured when they're on a road trip, he and his family, and they take her to a hospital. And then his daughter and wife disappear inside the hospital, and he's trying to find them. And it's just kind of things unraveling around him and him getting more and more desperate to discover what happened to them. I like this movie. I didn't love it, primarily because they give away too much at the beginning. So, I mean, the first shot of the movie while they're doing the titles tells you too much. Like, you're automatically like, oh, okay, well, I know what's going to happen here. Like, I might not know the exact ending of the movie, but I understand what it's about. And then there's another scene 5 or 10 minutes in where you're like, oh, yeah, that's 100% what this is. So it really got rid of a lot of the kind of what the hell is going on nature of the film. And if they had just changed 4 or 5 of those things in the first half of the movie, I feel like I would have been much more invested in the mystery. So it's a well-made movie. It didn't grab me the way I'd hoped it would have because I like these kinds of films. So worth a watch. And I mean, it's on Netflix, so you're not wasting your time.
It's also on Prime, and it's only an hour and 18 minutes long.
Oh, now I'm interested.
It was short.
Like I'd watch it.
Yeah, and Brad Anderson, I mean, he's a good director. He's done some really good stuff, so it's worth a watch.
All right, it's in the watch list.
Splendid.
All right, Jack.
All right. Well, before I get to what I watched, a quick detour. I went to the theater and I saw The Good Liar with Helen Mirren and Ian McKellen. Kind of looked like a Hitchcockian kind of movie. First of all, Helen Mirren is still gorgeous. I love her. I'm going to say this one is not a bad movie, but it's not a go see it in the theater movie. It's a wait for cable kind of movie.
Yeah.
So
when I finished watching my Miss Marple mysteries, I figured I'd turn that on.
Do you remember one time someone said to us, it's Helen Mirren. She's at the point in her career where she won't do crap. And then we went and saw Winchester, and I almost killed myself.
Yeah.
All right, that's all.
That happened.
I just wanted to get that in there.
That is very true.
So, I revisited Fright Night from 2011, the remake.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say this. I like the movie more the further away I got from it. I liked it. I thought it was a good remake. And I hadn't seen it in a few years. And I was actually going to watch the original Fright Night. And I was like, yeah, you know what? It's been a while. And I popped in it, and I really enjoy that movie. It's just not, it's no original. But as far as remakes go, it stands up. It moves quickly. I think Colin Farrell is great in it. It was kind of sad. It's the first time I've watched it since Anton Yelchin died.
Yelich.
Yelich. So that was
Yelchin.
sad. So
that's Christian Yelich on the Brewers. Never mind.
My only complaint is David Tennant is good, but the Peter Vincent character is not as pivotal to the story as the original. But
I forgot who was Peter Vincent in that one.
David Tennant.
Oh, that's
the
right.
magician,
and he's
right?
good. Yeah, it's just his role in it isn't quite as good as the original one. The whole thing isn't as good as the original, but it's a good sequel. Imogen Poots, what's her name from Hereditary?
Poots
is the mother.
Yeah,
mother from Hereditary. She's awesome in it too. So this is one that I was happy to go back and revisit. And like Overlord, the thing moves faster than I remembered. Like, oh yeah, this movie just kind of gets right to it. James Franco's brother is in it.
Oh, that's the one my kids like.
Yeah, so I had a good time. So I was happy that like when I went back to it, it had held up.
It says a lot for a guy like you who loves the original Fright Night that you can still like this movie.
Yeah, because I think the first time I saw it, I had too much of a wall up, and I thought it was okay. Like I came out like, but some of the things that I had complaints about the first time I saw it, I've gotten over. Because it's funny because the movie was in 3D when it came out, and watching it now, every so often, there's not too many moments like Friday the 13th, but there's a couple where you're like, oh, that's right, this was in 3D.
How's that beautiful CG at the end? I remember watching that thinking, oh my God.
That's one of the little things that. The only thing is there's some over the top special effects in the original that's almost a nod to it. So.
Yep.
But listen, there's a scene where Charlie breaks into Jerry's house to try and rescue the girl. That scene is tremendous. So,
see, check it out, people. See, get off your high horses. Jack did.
Yeah,
and he enjoyed himself.
No high horses here.
Right. We just get high. All right, I'm going to tell you all a thing to watch. It's a TV series on Amazon. I saw the coming attraction for it, and I was just like, wow, this looks cool. Undone.
Okay.
This is not horror. It's science fiction, although a bunch of places are calling it like a comedy drama. I mean, there is comedy in it. It's animated. It's done in rotoscope, so where the actors film everything and then they animate over them.
Oh, like the old Lord of the Rings movie.
But this is like, I haven't seen anything like this before. You just watch it. You can watch with the sound off, and you can't take your eyes off the screen. It's about this girl. She's in her mid-20s, and she's driving one day. She's like a kind of a slacker fuck up, not happy with her life, and she gets hit by a car, and she ends up in a hospital almost dying. And when she wakes up, she all of a sudden has these powers where she can drift in and out of time and alter time. And she's talking to her dead father, who's Bob Odenkirk, who was a physicist who died, and he's helping her to learn how to use her abilities so she can find out who killed him and then go back in time and save him.
Okay.
And in between it, it's like her dealing with her younger sister was getting married, and her relationship with her boyfriend, and her sister's cheating on her fiance, and her mother's overprotective. It's like this little tiny family drama in the middle of this. Some of it's funny as hell. Rosa Salazar plays the main girl, Alma. She was in Alita Battle Angel. She's Alita.
Yeah.
She's phenomenal. Oh my God. She is just great. The way she delivers lines. I'm telling you, this is the one thing you have to watch. It's 8 episodes long, and each episode is like 22 minutes.
All right.
I mean, and you'll be like me when it's over. You'll just be crushed knowing that it's not going to be back for another year or maybe 2.
Undone.
It is one of the best things I've seen all year.
All right.
Wow.
Okay.
Absolutely loved it.
I just added it. Bob Odenkirk, is he Kung Pao himself? Was that Kung Pao?
Bob Odenkirk. Well, he's from Breaking Bad. Better Call Saul.
Oh, yeah. Okay. No. Who am I thinking of? I think that guy's name's whatever. It's Kung Pao into the fist.
Like Kung Pao. I think he eats
Saul?
Kung Pao.
I love Kung Pao. So I finally, somehow this is one that slipped through the cracks, and it just hit Shudder. I watched Body Bags. The John Carpenter, Toby Hooper. I had never seen it. It's one of those I always saw on the shelf, and it just looked like crap for whatever reason. Like the VHS cover never grabbed me, so I just never saw it. And it popped up here, and I thought, what the hell? We were just saying a couple weeks ago that there aren't any good anthologies. I liked this one. It wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad either. I kind of like the tone of it. People wanting something and then getting screwed over. And I actually kind of like John Carpenter in his weird dead guy role in the interstitial. My biggest problem, and I didn't know this till I looked the movie up after watching it, I thought the episodes didn't go far enough. They weren't gory. They weren't crazy. There wasn't a bunch of nudity. I didn't know this was developed for television until so this was supposed to be a new Tales from the Crypt that Showtime ordered, and they got through filming the first 3 episodes and then said, hell with it, we don't want this anymore. So they wrapped it into body
Well,
bags.
because they saw the episode.
Could be. So this was
why.
supposed to be Tales from the Crypt, and I can see why it wasn't picked up, because Tales from the Crypt went far. I mean, some of those episodes were nuts, and this did not have that. But I mean, it's John Carpenter, it's Tobe Hooper working. You know, I've seen worse. If you've never seen it, check it out. But it's definitely not in the upper pantheon of horror anthologies.
No, it's kind of sad. It's like watching John Steinbeck write like a Twilight novel later in years. It has that feel of depression to it.
I don't even remember if I've seen this or not because I'm aware of it, but it was in that video store time of my life where we probably watched it, may have fallen asleep. It may be one of the ones I never saw. I have no recollection of it.
I mean, it's on Shudder. It's like an hour and 20-some minutes. It has so many cameos from horror directors, and like Wes Craven will show up, and I mean, I think Roger Corman shows up in one of them, so it's kind of cool for that in itself. Yeah,
it's good for people watching. Jack, you got anything left?
Nope, I'm ready to go.
All my bullets are out of my
I want to
chamber.
recommend quick: The Con Season by Adam Caesar.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
good.
How was that?
God damn it! I got to stop reading all these books because I come across one. I'm like, son of a bitch! I have a story idea I want to get to about people that go to these conventions, and this is absolutely nothing like my idea, except that it's about horror. I guess I don't want to say icons, but I guess people who've done like one big horror movie. You see them at every convention at their table signing pictures from, you know, the 4th Halloween movie.
Felissa Rose.
Yeah, actually, except Felissa Rose is amazing. But you know, it's kind of like that, and these people get hired to go to a new horror convention they haven't heard of, where they're being paid an exorbitant amount of money, and you know, it's 4 or 5 of these actors, and they all need it, so they show up, and very, very bad things start to happen to them at this site. So it's a cool idea. It's a cool story. Adam Caesar's one of those guys who I just love his writing style. It's not super dense with prose, but it's not like he's writing like a simpleton either. He just hits that perfect balance with me where it just flows. And he's really good. I have a feeling that this is going to be one of those guys in 10 years that's going to be significantly higher up the horror ladder than he is. He's really good.
Yep, he sure is. We like him, right, Jack?
He's our buddy. Hair too.
Yeah, he does.
He really does.
I like it when he looks like Serpico. All right, so that's it. Done. We're all out of our pickies. All right, let's get into Bad Ben 7. Yes, 7. It feels like just yesterday there was Bad Ben, which it was just yesterday. This guy rolls movies out faster than I roll books out. And then Harpoon.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Nigel Bach is the Roger Corman of Amazon found footage horror.
I wonder what directors and actors he's going to discover along the way. You know, this is such a Sophie's choice. Like, which do we do first? And I think, in honor of your shirt, I think we should do Bad Ben first, right?
Whatever you guys want.
That sounds good.
All right, Jack, you want to sum this up?
Our friend Tom Riley,
is
now a driver for a Uber-like service called Drop You Off in his in the same town where Steelmanville Road is.
Mm-hmm.
And over the course of an evening, he picks up several passengers who all want to go back to the house that he used to own on Steelmanville Road, the scene of Bad Ben. It's a pretty clever premise. And there's about an hour of movie and 20 minutes of driving in the movie.
There might be some padding.
There's a lot of driving.
And this movie boldly goes outside the house and more into the woods and stuff and on the roads. And we see the neighborhood. That's all I got.
Yeah, I've always wondered which strip mall was closest to the Steelmanville Road, and now we know. We see the stores that are closed.
There multiple times.
There's a Payless.
Do you think that's the actual address, or do you think he made up at least the house number?
Somebody in our chat look it up once, and he actually lives on Steelmanville Road. I
We
feel
have to
like
show
that's
up there
for
one
real.
day.
Like if we just get on Steelmanville Road and drive down it, we will see the house.
It's a dream. That's a bucket
If we
list,
could do a podcast
accomplishment.
episode from in the house with him, we would just stop the show at that point. We're good.
Or can we just do it without him there? Without him knowing we're in there?
We just walk around with selfie sticks doing it.
Yeah. And security cameras. So, Jason, what did you think of this latest installment?
This is one of my favorites. It's been a while since I've watched all of them, but we've talked about the ups and the downs of the series. When he really embraces the humor, I like them a lot more. I feel like the last one was kind of a down for us until the last half or so, if I recall. This one, other than watching him drive for 5 minutes at a time with nothing happening, I laughed a lot in this. I don't know what it is about Nigel Bach, but I find that dude absolutely hysterical. His cadence, the way he moves, the way he says things, just that guy cracks me up. Obviously, a lot of it's intentional. He does a lot of comedy bits in this. Almost all of it's comedy now at this point. And I had a lot of fun. Like, no joke, not shitting on him. Not like when we watched Bad Ben and we couldn't tell if he was trying to be scary or funny. Like, this really made me laugh. I had a good time watching it.
What about you, Jack?
I think it's one of the better Bad Ben movies because it was at least something different. I don't know if I could have sat through another hour and a half of people in the house with the lights going on and off and a doll running around. So I was glad that they moved it. I'm impressed with his special effects. I don't know what he's using, Premiere or whatever, but he showcased some pretty great special effects for the no budget movie. And there's one gag with a head that was a lot of fun. So I'd say that this is I don't even remember what the last one was, but this one was it was refreshing to see that he's doing something different. And I don't know if we're doing spoilers or not on this, but some of the places he dared to go with this, I was kind of impressed with because we got like new creatures in this one besides ghosts.
Yes. But wasn't the last one we had that African American girl?
Was that it?
That she was.
The one with the African American girl was bad until the very end.
That was a tough one. She kept repeating the same stuff over and over.
I think that was 2 movies ago.
Was it?
And the way in, I think, was they go through like the fireplace or something, through a portal or something like that.
I think we're gonna have to watch all these at the same time.
I'll watch the first 2. No, not the first.
Simultaneously.
1 and 3. Is 3 when he had the comedians come who were ghost hunters? That would make me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
1 and 3 made me laugh. I put this one up there with those.
So, I love the fact that Nigel Bach he's figured out what he's really good at, and he's good at comedy. And his acting went up several notches in this movie. That's the best I've seen him. He's getting sharp with this, and I mean, I was rolling sometimes. He is funny as hell. And then we just sit there waiting for the first goddamn.
Did he say it?
It's become like.
Oh, okay.
He did. Oh, hell yeah! He said it several times, and all the cursing and stuff. He's just.
Those are the best moments, like especially in the car. He like pissed off and just kind of let a few rants go, and then he'd rein it back in. Those are the best moments.
Yeah, no, this is very funny. Like, I know I'm not going to get scared at these movies. I'm impressed as hell by what he does with what he has at his disposal. And you got to see actually how good an actor he is when he pulls in everybody else who goes into the car and how not good they are. I mean, these are all amateurs, right? These are amateurs that he's got this huge platform.
I was wondering if those were people who donated to the. Did he go do a GoFundMe or something like that for this?
Yeah, there's like a million names in there.
That's who that was, because like the vampire guy was, I don't think he'd acted before.
Maybe not. Maybe he did Godspell in high school.
The Wolf of Wall Street has the record for most F-bombs in a movie. This may have beaten it because the last 20 minutes, all he does is swear incessantly. It is hilarious. When he was taking the kid home, he's like, you know what? You're lucky. I'm Tom Riley, and no fucking vampire or fucking ghost is going. He just goes off, and the dude actually started laughing a couple times. Oh
Yeah.
Well,
Because
now that you've mentioned the word vampire, that's what I was getting at. Is I was impressed that he was bold enough to go for vampires with Stillmanville Road.
Why not?
Talking,
But I like that.
Heads, like severed heads. So he was just down in this movie.
Yes.
Yeah. He upped the ante. Because you're right, Jack. How many times do we see people wander around that house going, I know you're here. I know you're here.
Yeah.
All right. This was so much more fun. It was a great idea of sticking him in a Uber or pick you up or whatever the hell that thing was.
Drop you off.
Drop you off.
Drop you off, pick you up, drop you off. I pick things up, I put things down.
Oh man, when I think he's behind the house and he just goes into a dead sprint back to his car. Just that had me laughing. Like the guy just kills me.
By the way, slimmer. He's lost some weight too. That's why he was running so fast.
God damn it.
What the guys who got in the car that you mentioned, I did get a kind of a kick out of. He'd strike up a conversation with them, and then they'd be like, "None of your damn business. What the hell is this?" Like that was kind of realistic, and like the Jersey attitude about stop trying to talk to me, Uber driver.
Shut the fuck up and drive.
He argues with them, calls them an asshole, and then asks them to give him 5 stars on the Drop You Off app.
And this is his first night driving too.
And he's like stopping in the, like, oh, I got to pick somebody up here on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere.
I know they're coming out of woods.
It's kind of a weird place to drop you off.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I laughed. I laughed significantly at this movie. So the only thing is, I don't know if there's some kind of advertising thing he can do with these movies sometimes. If you're not a Prime member, maybe they put commercials in and he's trying to hit a certain amount of time so he can get X amount of commercials in. I'm just guessing, because the padded scenes with him just driving where they're sped up, why are those in the movie? Like, you can just say I'm here and we understand what happened.
Yeah, I was wondering. After a while, I was starting to nod off on some. I was like, oh,
yeah,
what?
So I wonder
Please
if he
start
has
talking.
to hit a certain time frame, or I don't know, but could have done without those.
You might. What do we know? We're not filmmakers.
So here's what I want for the next Bad Ben, and he seems to just be cranking these suckers out. Good for him. The Bad Beniverse is back to peak form. I want him to become a paranormal investigator where he can go to other people's houses or to a haunted barn or a haunted tractor trailer, and then we can just get different locations. Just because just having him in the car was so refreshing. But I don't know how many movies I can see where he's just driving in a car. You know, I don't want it to become like The House.
Well, you're talking about the cartoon that he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Do you want the cartoon again?
No.
Okay. No. All right. I just want to be clear.
I want him to be able to go to other locations. Just go to your cousin's house and film there for 3 weekends, and I'll be happy. And swear a lot.
Right. Should you do found footage, or should you think he should just try to do a traditional movie?
Traditional movie's pretty tough. You need cameramen. You need sound guys.
There's right here. I'll work on that for free if he wants us.
Hell yeah. We got to get... I wish we could get him on this podcast, man. He hates us. I wish he didn't, because I don't know of anybody that promotes his stuff more than us.
There is no podcast, I guarantee you, has reviewed every single Bad Ben movie.
We put him in the subject line of our podcast. We don't just talk about him.
So yeah, Nigel, we love you, God damn it.
So we've done 7 of these. So 5% of our show is dedicated to Nigel Bach's movies.
You love us. Just
So,
love us.
Oh, well.
I think that's 3 thumbs up.
If you're in the Bad Beniverse, man, this is going to be up your alley.
I got to get
I don't know if he
t-shirt.
still sells them. He wasn't for a while, but it was only like $15. I mean, it was nothing.
Oh
Actually,
my God,
to
that's super
give him
cheap.
props, it's a really high quality shirt too. Not that anybody cares, but
Well, I'm going to look online. I'm going to go
Does
to
he
eBay.
sell little crescent moon clowns?
which one was that? I can't even remember. I don't think that was one of the good ones.
No, it
I'm
wasn't.
Tom Riley. God damn
Like I
it!
said,
The one where he gets naked at the end and walks out is the best.
Is that
oh
the one
my
with the
God.
comedians? I feel like it is.
You know what?
It's a blur.
Exactly. I need a script breakdown for each one, so I can. Maybe that's what I'll
Now
do.
I
I'll
want to go back
transcribe
and
them.
watch that one again.
Jason, why don't you make a YouTube video where you break down each video?
I don't
Each
know that I
movie.
could, man. Some of those were rough.
There you go.
I could do the first
You
one,
can
but
do it.
I don't want him to hate me.
That's true. We want him to like us. All right, so let's move on to let's say higher quality movie, just in terms of filmmaking. Harpoon, which Jack brought to our attention. It's a spear gun ass. So this is on Amazon Prime. Is it on Netflix too?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It was funny, the day that you had emailed and said, hey, let's watch Harpoon, it's the same day my editor, whose opinions I trust, said, you got to watch Harpoon. I was like, all right, well, that's 2 out of 2 people I trust. So I was all in. Jack, what is this movie about?
This movie is about 3 friends, 2 guys and a girl. I saw this movie 2 weeks ago, so I don't remember anybody's name or anything like that. There's the rich guy and the schlubby guy and the girl.
There you go. That works.
The rich guy and the girl are dating, and they're all kind of like best friends. And the rich guy shows up at the schlubby guy's house one morning and beats the hell out of him because he thinks that the other 2 are sleeping with each other. And in the course of the frenzy, some stuff is knocked over, including the ashes of the schlubby guy's parents. So when they realize, oh, this is all a big misunderstanding or whatever, so the rich guy says, I'm going to take you guys out on my boat for a day out on the water as I'm sorry. And absolute madness occurs on this boat. I don't know if I want to say much more till we get to spoilers. Because most of the movie takes place on this boat, and it's something.
It's something. I like
It's
that. All right, Jason, what'd you think?
I thought it was okay. It didn't blow my skirt up. It's not like I disliked it. I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny at times, actually. I guess I also kept expecting it to go a little darker than it did at times, but I liked it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's glowing endorsement. What about you, Jack?
I liked it a lot. That's why I watched it, and I thought we should do this for the show. I really enjoyed it, and I thought that there's some twists at the third act that elevated it a lot, and I thought the humor really helped with it. The narration, you'll recognize the narrator's voice. It's that bald guy from Love.
That's who that was?
Yeah.
It
The
was a series
Netflix
on
show.
Netflix.
I haven't seen it.
With the so yeah, this is I think this is one of the best movies of the year so far. Top at least like top 13.
Well, Jason, you said this didn't blow up your skirt. This one went right up mine.
Nice.
I don't know. I normally don't like movies where it begins with narration, but there was like a wit and a snarkiness to it that I thought was so cool. I thought the performances were remarkably strong by people I'd really never seen before. And I was at one point, I go, oh, don't let this be open water. If they're just treading water and we're waiting for sharks, I'm going to be pissed. But it's not. It's like this. It's insane. I mean, it gets really nuts. And it's just, it's so over the top. I had a blast. Jack, I said to the media, this is on the list for this year. It'll be in my top 10. guaranteed. I had that much. I had as much fun with this almost as Villains, that Micah Monroe.
I want to see
movie.
that.
Yeah, if you like Harpoon, you're gonna go gaga over Villains. They have a kind of like same kind of sensibility. Villains is just it's a notch above. But this was for something you're gonna catch on Amazon Prime. Man, that was really good.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, and like I said, that's why I was just going to mention. It was going to be one of my movies for this week, and then I was like, no, I got to get these guys to watch. First of all, there's nothing else out there to watch. But part of I think the reason people listen to us is to discover things. So I think, look, obviously not everybody likes every movie, but this is one that's worth watching and checking out because it's written so well, and like I said, there's some turns in this movie that you don't see coming, and the narration really helps this movie a lot.
Yeah.
Everything pays off. And so, like I said, when I turned the movie off at the end, I was like, wow, that was way better.
It's interesting because the narration was one of the parts I didn't get. I was like, why is there narration?
It was just kind of, I don't know. It was kind of funny. I think the narration made it funnier. Because it's a funny movie.
It made it funnier and it set things up.
Yeah, I don't know. It was one of the first things when the movie ended. I asked my wife, I'm like, why is there narration in this movie? I didn't like it. I just never got it.
Oh, it's to kind of help you ease into what's kind of like their backstory. And like I said, I think it was strictly for comedic effect.
It breaks it up too. I think if that movie didn't have the narration, there could have been parts where the audience starts to get fatigued. And so there's humor definitely between the people. Some of the conversations they have and things they do is there's constantly humor. But this kind of it's a tension breaker. And like I said, so it breaks tension and it sets up things and explains a few things that get paid off later on in the movie.
Hey, and to say the rich dude had anger issues, that's understatement of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I suspect that everybody thinks that's a typical white Trump supporter. I think they assume any white guy who pulls the lever for Trump, that's what he is.
He was angry.
And the other guy is oh my God.
He was so angry and off the hook. I didn't really understand why the other two would ever hang around with him. He's like a freaking loose cannon.
I could totally get that. We had a guy here, Billy McLaughlin, who was exactly like that. And the girls and the guys who hung around him were all like low key. It was like he was their raging id that they just got to watch him act out anything that they thought they wanted to do to
even
crush
when he's
somebody.
Crushing them?
Well, that was kind of
he
extreme.
Doesn't hit him. He smashed that guy has brain damage from that fight at the beginning.
Which might explain the way he acted for the rest of the movie. I did learn that I will never try seagull blood. That did not seem cool.
You know what? We should maybe ring a spoiler bell if we're going to talk about something.
Seagull blood? That could happen at any time, anywhere.
True. That is true. Wait, you want to do a quick 5 minutes of spoilers?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Ring the bell.
Okay, folks. If you don't want to be spoiled, this is your chance to get out. I think, Jason, do you recommend this or not?
Like I said, I liked it. I just wasn't blown away.
Okay. Then with that, spoiler alert.
Ding.
Okay.
What do you want to spoil? The whole thing?
First of all, maybe the most realistic representation of a person getting shot in the hand with a spear gun.
That looked painful. And then when later on, when he undoes the bandage.
Yeah, and then he's like shivering and all that.
Oh, that looked nasty. And then when they were trying to kill him, like cut his arm off, I know, like he's like, hold on, he's getting that little cup to drink his freaking septic blood.
Yeah.
But it was cool because then she goes, yeah, let me have that, thinking that she's going to drink, and she just dumps the thing.
So that's
like, their dynamic
one of the ones
really
I was talking about that I expected. So when I was looking this movie up, one or two of the reviews popped up, and I didn't read much except both of the headlines were how hardcore the movie was. So when it gets to that scene, I'm thinking they're gonna saw this freaking dude's arm off with a bottle, And then when they just made a cut and that was it, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
what, are these normies reviewing this? This is like. But then when he kills him, that was pretty
Could have
hard.
been. Yes.
Oh yeah, I love the fact that they stopped after they cut, because
Yeah.
that's totally what would happen. Okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna go.
He
Oh
got
no,
cutting somebody's
stop.
arm off with a freaking bottle.
I'm thinking, yeah, like, how are you going to get through the
stomp
bone?
it? Like what?
With-
Yeah.
Then I was like, are they just trying to bleed out the septic blood? I don't know what the hell was the point of that was, other than to be kind of funny. Because the whole funny part was just watching that guy try to collect his blood with that little plastic container.
Yeah, she said he had blood
I
poisoning.
can't-
Did you drink
yeah.
someone's blood if they have blood poisoning? Like, will that like mess you up?
That
I wouldn't think
that
so.
can't be good.
I don't know if I could drink. I know if I was dying of thirst, maybe it'd be a different story. But I just like when the girl took a sip and then she threw up. I feel like that's what I would do.
Yeah. How about when they were they found the whiskey, and they're talking about who's better in bed and her ugly sex face and everything. But that's, you would get like that. I mean, they're delirious.
The drinking the whiskey thing was another one. I'm like, I thought you all were dying of thirst. This is a really bad idea. Like, you might as well just go drink that ocean water.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You're not making smart ideas at that point. But I like you
And
said,
they
we
get-
should drink your own piss. And he goes, you can still
Yeah.
piss.
It was funny the way that they set that up with like the guys in the water. He's like, this key's getting heavier and heavier, and so they're throwing everything overboard.
Which
Oh.
ended up being a good
I don't
idea.
know.
Because as you find out, the one guy is a complete psychopath.
Yes, and not
So
the guy you
this
think.
is the part that I think might make or break it for some people. If you buy that twist, then you're probably going to absolutely love this. Whereas if you're like, which was kind of where I was like, I liked the idea. I just wasn't sure if I fully bought this guy as like this complete lunatic that like they haven't seen the signs of this. That was the only thing. And it wasn't that I disliked the twist. I actually really did like the idea. I just wasn't sure how much I bought it.
You look like a Manson follower. Just go by looks, right? And it had a great ending.
I really like that. Oh, that reminds me. This is one of my other things, and this is a personal thing with a lot of movies for me. I like to have someone to root for, and I felt like most of that movie I didn't have someone to root for. And I just know, for me personally, that usually affects how much I like a movie. If everyone is a piece of shit,
Oh,
it doesn't give me something I'm like hoping somebody makes it.
right.
But you were kind of rooting for the schlubby guy until towards the end of the movie. That all of a sudden you're like, oh,
It's pretty early on.
He
He's
is
trying
also-
to get her to kill that other guy. He's like trying to rock the boat, and which was hilarious. But that's the first sign. This
Yeah,
guy
kill him
is
without killing him.
kind of a piece of shit.
but he got the crap beaten out of him, and he totally pined for the girl. I think if you're going to root for somebody, he was the one you were rooting for.
I was honestly rooting for the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, to me, the ocean was a character, and that's the character I was rooting for. And guess what? I picked the right side.
There were other little things that are just nitpicky, like that boat doesn't have a propeller, right? Like, just
I'd have to go to the boat show at the Javits Center next
What
year.
does it have?
isn't it
then?
like a speedboat that has like the water goes through it? I don't know shit about boats, but I could be wrong.
I think that would have a motor.
No,
If that's your
but
nitpick,
that leads to
dude.
the other part where she turns the boat on and then
Go ask
flips the
Popeye.
whole way like out the back. It was like little stuff like that I was like,
That could
the
happen.
back of that boat was pretty far away from that. So, like I said, I'm
It
nitpicking.
was slippery with blood.
But yeah, really, it was the not having somebody to root for was my biggest issue. I will say, I thought what they did with what was clearly zero budget, particularly finding 3 actors who were really good. They must have spent a lot of time trying to find.
Good writing, good performances, good.
That elevates you over 90% of the direct that comes out right
Being able
there.
to write humor that's actually funny puts you above most things.
Yep. Because humor
I think
ain't
it's a hard
easy.
thing.
I mean, I know
It's-
we make it look easy, but it's not.
It was like real people in that situation because I have zero survival skills. The zombie apocalypse happened. I'd be like, what's the movie where the guy gets something versus night, where the guy gets stuck in the apartment building in France or something like
I
that.
didn't see that. I know what you're talking about.
It's good,
Yeah.
but the guy has basically no survival skills, and like, I'm like, yeah, that'd be me. I'd be like, well, I don't know what's safe to drink, or I don't know how to build this thing. I'd be the one who like died because I didn't open the flue on the fireplace right, and
At least you know your limitations, brother. At least
so
you know.
when they're on the boat, they're like, can we do this? Can we do that? Or how do we do this? Like I felt like that was like real people in the situation.
They did a
And they're
good
going to
job
her for the
answering
answers.
one of my questions right away. So when they got stuck in the background of some of the shots, you can clearly see land. It's not close, but you can see it.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, just get a flotation device and start kicking. And they said pretty much 30 seconds after I thought it, yeah, those guys at the end of Jaws, yeah, they're dead. They didn't make it back. So I thought they knew that they weren't shooting far enough off coast to fully pull that off without answering that question, and they did. So I thought that was well done.
Right. Well, I think Harpoon is a winner, man.
Me too.
And I like that they named it after the whole thing of the comedy. This is keep calling it a harpoon.
Yeah, it's a spear gun.
It's a spear gun. So I think if you watch this, you should have it with Harpoon Lager. You should watch Harpoon with a harpoon. I forgot. I thought of that the minute it was over. I'm like, oh shit, I should have had a harpoon.
You're very clever.
I try. What do we have? What's a drink? What's a drink you pair with Bad Ben?
Schlitz.
Schlitz. Well, me and Jack, we're partial
Old
Schaefer.
Milwaukee Tall Boys.
Natty
Natty
Ice.
There you go.
What's a good New Jersey drink?
Ooh. I'm a New Yorker. I try not to go over that side as much as possible.
Where's Tim Meyer when you need him? He probably lives close.
And overpriced beer from the Meadowlands.
Whatever. Oh, I went. I did a signing down there at the Pine Bush Brewing or something one time. So whatever they're making, which they had some good craft beer out there.
Well, we'll get that when we go to Nigel's house.
That's right. Road trip. All right. So actually, amazing. 2 movies that we both like. We all liked both movies. So that doesn't happen very often.
No.
Particularly when neither one had a budget over $500.
Yeah, I mean combined.
Yeah. Listen, I think Harpoon's one of those ones.
I'd never
Nobody's heard of this movie, and word needs to get out on it. So I had seen the trailer for it before, and then somebody I work with actually asked me if I had seen it because they saw it, and that's why I watched it. So word o' mouth.
Well, next week, speaking of no budget, we're going to watch the movie Trick, which, according to this, is American gay-themed romantic comedy film directed by Jim Fallon, starring Christian Campbell. Oh, that's 1999. Hold on, this is a different movie. I was like, hey, whatever. Horror fans, it's something about a horror icon who keeps coming back from the dead year after year.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's what we're going to watch. It's on Amazon. You got to pay for it, though. So this is what we're going to do. We might be jumping on a grenade just for you.
Hopefully not, but it could be.
And you know what? Thanksgiving is coming. And the best way to give thanks to the Final Guys is to go somewhere and give a review, spread the news. Please go, just retweet like the show, any past episode. Write to us. Ask us questions. Just let the world know that we're here. Please.
We could definitely use more reviews on iTunes. It's been a bit. Help us.
Yeah. Help us help you. And tell us what movies you want us to review, because we're coming to some lean times. Not going to be much between now and the end of the year.
From now till
so.
April. We're just in the doldrums.
Well, what? Black Christmas isn't on your list?
Gonna give me a coronary.
I saw the coming attraction. And I thought it looked good.
Did you see the trailer for Antlers? I think it's called.
No. How's that look?
Looks really good.
Is that next year?
I don't know when. We got it. I got the list We can check the list later.
Maybe we'll do Krampus this year.
The one from a couple years ago?
Maybe.
I haven't seen it since it came out.
A little Christmas episode.
Do we really want to watch that movie again?
I have to know. That's why I'm bringing
That's
Uh,
Low hanging fruit. All right, everybody. We're going to say that's a wrap. Wrap it up. Keep it safe. Keep your Jimmy in your pants. And see you next week when we all come here to dance.
Bye.
see ya.